Well, there are journalists there, but those journalists have now boarded that ship to get out of that town. So we are reliant on reports from the rebels who are there. And what they are saying is that there is indiscriminate shelling of the area around that harbour. Now, this ship from the International Organization of Migration had been trying to get into Misratah for the past 5 days. Now, it wasn't able to get in, not only because of that shelling, but because of reports that Gaddafi's forces had also mined the water around that harbour, making it very dangerous for ships to move in there. But NATO vessels, including a British vessel, acted to remove some of those mines. So it was thought that after the authorities had been notified that the ship was coming in, that it would be safe for it to do so. But indeed, that appears not to have been the case. Under fire, some of those people, including foreign workers from elsewhere in Africa trying to leave Misratah. Also some people injured who were being evacuated from the hospitals, which are now overflowing into Misratah, and also some of the journalists waiting to board that ship. Now, we have these reports that at least 4 people were killed. 2 of them, we're told, were a man and a woman, and also 2 children. We can't verify those reports. These are coming from the rebels. But it does appear from the pictures that we're seeing that there is indiscriminate shelling of this harbour area by Gaddafi's forces, despite the warnings that this was a humanitarian ship coming to evacuate the injured and some people trying to flee the violence there.
Indeed. So have the authorities explained why they would have carried out this sort of attack, or indeed have they admitted it at all?
Well, at the end of the last week, the Gaddafi government said that the reason they were trying to seal off that port and stop the ships coming in was because they believed they were carrying weapons to the rebels. And they said that all humanitarian aid had to come through the Libyan government, and if aid had to get to Misratah, then it had to go by land, presumably from Tripoli, under the auspices of the United Nations and the Red Cross. Now, clearly, there isn't a belief here that that is possible, which is why that aid ship is going in there to try to get people out. And it has already, this route, been used to evacuate some 12,000 people, including hundreds of people who've been badly injured and just can't get medical treatment. It's also a route in for food and medicine, so it's a vital lifeline. But it appears to be one that the Gaddafi forces are desperate to close off. They argue it's because of the weapons, but that certainly isn't the view of the international organisations, who see this purely as a humanitarian mission to help the people who are trapped in Misratah for weeks now under fire.